British light heavyweight Olympian Joshua Buatsi wins his pro debut in the second round with a victory over Carlos Mena. Now, Carlos Mena had a losing record going into the fight, 4 wins, 6 losses. But unlike a typical journeyman, this guy actually came to win. It has to be said about Carlos Mena. He came to win. He was throwing heavy shots. Every opportunity he got, he was trying to chin Joshua Buatsi. Buatsi maintained his composure. He showed his pedigree. You know, you can tell certain fighters who have had extensive amateur experience in their pro debut. You can tell because of the technique that they're using. And that was very evident here with Joshua Buatsi. His punches are very well delivered. There's nothing wide, there's nothing sloppy, there's nothing erratic. Everything is nice and neat and tidy and compact. He was catching shots in his gloves and countering immediately. He was going to the body. It was all very polished from Joshua Buatsi. He has the look of a guy who has been in the amateur system for a long time, honing his skills, fighting at a high level in internationals, so on and so forth. So you could tell the quality there, the pedigree from Joshua Buatsi immediately, particularly with an opponent who was slinging a lot of heavy leather at him. He didn't, get the red mist and start throwing wild punches and all that kind of thing, which might have happened with a less experienced fighter, fight with less amateur experience. No, with Joshua Buatsi, it was all very cool, calm, cool and calculated. He did make a few mistakes here and there. I thought sometimes he was punching with the timing when he was punching with Mena was a little off, and Mena, managed to catch him here and there. But for the most part, you could tell Buatsi's polish and pedigree in this performance. He went to the body well. He was picking shots very well. The shot which really hurt Carlos Mena, which dropped him with a left hook to the body, one of the commentators said that reminded the move that Buatsi set up that left hook with reminded him of a Ricky Hatton, and it kind of did, because Ricky Hatton used to throw a couple pity-patty shots to the head and then dig a really hard left hook to the body. And that's exactly what Joshua Buatsi did here. A couple light shots to the head to distract the opponent and bring his guard up, and then he sunk the left hook in to the rib cage. So yeah, it was good stuff from Joshua Buatsi. Again, just to reiterate, very polished. He's going to continue to polish up his skills. He's going to continue to polish up his defense and whatnot, but he just has a very polished, professional look about him already. One thing I would say though, and some people might say I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, Buatsi, I don't think is a natural, serious puncher. I think he's a guy who's going to get knockouts because he's accurate. His shots land precise, right in the vital areas, right on the sweet spots. His shots land there. And, he has a certain amount of power, but he doesn't strike me as someone who's like a natural heavy-handed guy. There is somebody else who was an Olympian from 2016 who's British, who I do think is naturally heavy-handed. That's in the weight division above Joshua Buatsi, but I'll talk about him in a separate video. But Buatsi, yeah, I think he's, maybe has a decent level of power, and he showed some of that power in the Olympics. But I think it's more to do with his accuracy, not real raw force behind the shots, But still, a very good addition, I think, to the British light heavyweight scene, Joshua Buatsi. We all hope that he'll be involved in fights with some of the other British light heavyweights out there, particularly Anthony Yarde. Most people are really interested in that becoming a rivalry and manifesting itself in an actual fight at some stage. Hopefully it will. And some people have said, no, that's not realistic to talk about Anthony Yarde against Buatsi. Well, it all depends on how long Anthony Yarde stays at light heavyweight. The reason why I think it is realistic is because Joshua Buatsi can be moved at a quicker pace than Anthony Yarde in terms of, his professional career and how they match him and how quickly they step him up. He can be stepped up quicker because he has that amateur background that Anthony Yarde don't have. Joshua Buatsi's been in there with world-class fighters in the amateurs. He's been in there with people who are world class that will turn professional and be world class as professionals. You understand? So he's already been at that level. He's been boxing a lot longer than Anthony Yard has. So, and even his promoter Eddie Hearn said this. He said we can step him up and move him along quite quickly because he does have this amateur pedigree and a lot of experience. Whereas Anthony Yard, they're being a lot more careful with him. You know, Frank Warren and his trainer, Tunde Ajayi, they're being a lot more careful with him because he don't have the amateur experience. So I don't think it's that far-fetched a year from now, 18 months from now, to see these two guys in the ring if Anthony Yard is still at light heavyweight. So anyway, a good pro debut for Joshua Buatsi. Put his punches together well, picked his shots well, and we look forward to seeing how his career unfolds over the next year or so. So drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about Buatsi's performance. It's happening. I'm out.